What's up, everybody? This is Erika coming to you virtually tonight. Eric is on vacation. I believe he's camping, so he's having a good time for 4th of July week. We are not dropping a new episode, but we have an OTR Classic for you. So please enjoy this episode with Neil Murphy, one of my personal favorites because I laughed for a solid 90 minutes straight. So please enjoy this OTR Classic and enjoy your 4th of July week. And don't forget to stretch.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Our next guest on the runs is going to be from Orlando, Florida. He's an ultra runner badass, and he recently went a little bit viral when he posted a picture of him with a pizza on his gut. We're going to call that hashtag pizza gut. Neil Murphy, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hey guys, doing lovely.
So happy to have you here.
Belly full of beer and energy drinks, and as we were saying before, this is just got like a little battle going on in my mind. So we'll see where this takes us. I'm excited.
How many beers are you deep right now, you think?
Oh, just a couple Zimas and some Monster Peach. It's a lovely combination.
I'm currently...
Are those from like 1990? Where do you even get Zimas anymore?
I just made that shit up. I got this. There's this cool brewery that's called Dragon's Milk, and it's just like
Oh my God.
one bottle of it's like 14% alcohol. It's ridiculous. Like one bottle just like gets you going already. It's unfair, but it's
Attaboy.
so delicious. So delicious.
Dragon's milk.
I'm currently half a Pedialyte deep because I just did a 56-mile bike ride to get home
Hell
in
yeah.
time for this podcast as my family's still up at the lake. And I was telling Erika before, I'm sweating balls right now. If you can see my forehead, I don't know if the light's showing it. I turned the fan off in the room and I'm just like, boom.
You're glistening.
I am.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm a beauty. I got the best hair. Out of all of us, I got the best hair. I'm telling you right now, looking at
That's
you
right.
and Erika, I have the best head of hair.
I think Neil's giving you a run for your money, dude.
Neil, how long has that been going on?
It grows like crazy. I just stopped cutting it about a year and a half ago. Yeah, like Georgia Death Race last year is when I was just screw it. I'll save some money and just not cut my hair. Just see what happens. And here we are. I look like if you ordered your Thor off of Wish.com, like a Florida Man edition. It's like
Oh my
if Thor and
God.
Neil Patrick Harris had a love child. There I am, from Florida, no less.
All right, listeners, you're in for a treat. Neil has quite the way with words, so this is just going to be an epic interview. I'm so happy.
Fuck yeah.
We're starting to get into feeling how our listeners like us, and we're starting to drop some shit bombs, and maybe not so many F-bombs from me. Maybe not on the air, but
From you. You're the one.
do you.
Erika's the one who's like asking me, when are we going to allow to say the F word? Come on, man.
I'm like,
she's been
can we
dying.
do this?
We
It's
just
happening. It is
Yeah.
happening.
We brought our friend Rachel on one day, and Rachel just flat out said it, and I'm like, well, there it is. That's the first F-bomb on the pod.
Popped our cherry. Pop the F-bomb
go.
cherry.
So let's get into it. Let's start with a few things about you, Neil. Who are you? Where are you from? I know you mentioned the wife and kids earlier. And then we'll get into how did you start running? Just running in particular. Doesn't even matter. We'll get into the ultras after that.
Yeah, so I'm from Orlando, Florida. Grew up there my whole life. It's one of the rare cases where, when someone who grew up in Florida, once they come of age, they usually get the hell out of Florida. All the Florida man stories, they're real. And so I like that, so I decided to stay here. And geez, what do I do for a living right now? I'm an engineer. I work on flight simulators for the Navy, and it's a total nerd job. But then again, I was a nerd growing up. So we were saying before, my job before this, what put me through college, is that I competed in video games professionally, and
No
totally
way.
not jealous at all the resources that the pros have now with Twitch and everything and YouTube. And you could have made a whole lot more back then, that was out. But No, here I am. Just got a family, 2 kids. My daughter actually turned 1 year old yesterday. I got a 6-year-old as well. So
Oh,
Oh,
congrats.
happy birthday to
having
her.
fun.
We're
Yeah.
about we're about the same. I have a 6-year-old girl and I have 1-year-old boys. They're twins. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm in the same boat as you, +1 though.
Ouch. I'm sorry.
It's
That's-
all right. I somehow
I got
find the
no
time
kids.
to do this.
None
Oof.
for me. You guys can have
Man.
them.
So you mentioned Georgia Deaf Race, and we know you do some ultras. Let's get into that. When did you first bite the bullet, sign up for your first ultra? What was it? What happened? Tell us about it.
The story of the first ultra really goes before that. So as I said before, when you think of the idea of someone making a career off of playing video games, automatically your mind's going to the right place fitness wise. That dude's not fit whatsoever. I think in college I put on about like 50 pounds, living the gamer life. And when I was at work, the bases have those old school scales with the little sliding rack on the top.
Mhm.
You've got like the 50-pound increment and the 10-pound. You slide them around, and you slide it around slowly, because if you put on weight, it's just a slow realization that you fucked up. They're great skills. It doesn't just show the number. You got to go through the journey thinking of all the pizzas you ate as you're sliding it. And so I'm remembering like, I weighed like 165 going into college. So let me set the slider to like the 150 to 200 range. No, went through that whole thing. The 50-pound block like didn't budget. I was like, okay, this is bad. And I'm sliding it. Yeah, it was way, way up there. And I kid you not, this was 2011 time frame, if I'm remembering back correctly. And literally that depressing drive home. When I get home, the first time and the last time ever that I clicked on an ad, I saw an ad for Warrior Dash. And it was like a 5K. It was crazy at the time. It looked like an impossible thing. It's like, fuck yeah, let me do it, because I don't want to be fat. And I went out and tried to run like the next day. I got about a quarter mile in before I had to walk it out. It was really, really bad, and that's just what started it. So the mindset from the video game world to actually be good, and I guess the mindset of any kind of hobby or something you want to be like the best at something in, it carries over to athletics easily, right? You pick something to do it, and you just relentlessly go at it until you get it. So that kind of follow the same thing with running. Okay, this day I went a quarter mile. Okay, next day I'm going to try to go a little bit further. And it's just an iterative process. Did the Warrior Dash, kicked the crap out of me, but I didn't stop to walk through the whole thing. I was really happy. I was like, oh shit, what's the next hardest thing from there? And then sure enough, I heard about, Tough Mudder. And I was like,
Erica's favorite.
What's the distance of that? Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, that's 13 miles. That's insane. And, it just go to that level. And I think the first ultra I did was before I even did a marathon. I think it was Masters of All Terrain.
Yeah, you skipped a few steps.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tough Mudders were getting easy, and I was training. And so I was like, okay, what's the next hardest thing? Now I want to see what 50 miles feels like on my body. But they also had a ruck division of the 50 miles. So take 20% of your body weight and whatever you want to put in there. It can be a bunch of cats. It can be a bunch of dirt, whatever weighs 20% of your body weight. Put it in a ruck, go 50 miles. And so I did it, and I won. So I was like, oh shit. Because everyone else at like the halfway point, people were quitting. And I'm obviously hurting. Anyone doing that's going to hurt like hell. But I'm like, these are other runners that they're fast and they already quit. So hell yeah. And I just kept going. And I signed up more 50 milers for the first marathon, by the way, was middle of July in the woods in Florida. If you're from Florida, you can already feel the humidity of what I just said.
You said middle of July, and I cringed. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
even that's rough.
Yeah,
You're
but
just swimming in ball soup by mile 2. It's really haggard, and just Florida's the Australia nature-wise of the U.S. There's so much stuff in nature that just wants to kill you. People-wise, it's like a warm weather Russia. If you ever watch the Russian dash cam videos, it's like that, but it's warm. And so from there, it's just okay. I did a 50 miler. Shoot, let's just keep the party going. And I stepped up to the next event, and here I am.
Absolute legend, I swear. You are awesome.
So what would you say your race count is at right now then?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, gosh.
We didn't prep you for this question.
No, I mean, I can move the camera. I mean, you guys are listening to a podcast, but I can show you guys.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a medal collection if I've ever seen one.
That's the participant. That's got to be at least 100. I do an event once every weekend.
Nice.
That's
those
impressive.
are the ones that stayed on the wall. These are the Tough Mudder things, bibs for the Spartan Ultras. There's the Spartan Ultras. Behind me is and I cannot move the camera enough. Behind me is like the more crazy events. And it's got, screwed, I'll look over there.
I see a paddle. Tell me about the paddle. You carrying boats?
That's for my team. That's for carrying boats. That's for my team. They made a little something for me. A lot of the guys in there are Navy guys, and you make a decorative paddle.
That's
I'll show
cool.
you guys. So here's this is what they gave you if you won the 50-mile ruck. They gave you
a brick.
It's literally a brick that has like an award wood burned on here. It says 50-mile ruck brick, because a lot of people just put bricks in their pack. So you get a brick if you win, and I have a ton of bricks. I've got.
I love the symbolism.
No offense to Rachel runs
bricks.
for medals, but these are cooler than medals.
So 13 bricks. So have you won it 13 times? Like you just keep going back and winning?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not a big
Legend, I
deal.
swear.
There's a couple of things. There's what else do we got? There's Forgotten Florida. That's a 45 miler with Eric. Eric and I, we were in the lead of that, and we stopped we stayed together the whole race, and nobody was in front of us, nobody was behind us, and we stopped a foot from the finish line, and we rock paper scissored for second place. It was cool. He won. His paper
Love that.
beat my rock.
Was it one
God damn
rock,
it.
paper, scissors, or did you go best of 3?
No, we just went it all in one, all or nothing.
What did you throw?
I threw if I remember, we both threw scissors the first time, and then I did rock and he did paper, and then he got me.
Asshole.
I know.
kidding.
He beat me by like a quarter of a second. It was a nail biter finish.
Second by a piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's
And there's a whole bunch
absolutely
of
epic.
there's a whole bunch of other events that I can have stories to, and I have a couple of them lined up. So those listening, they gave me some questions to
we
better
did.
not sound like a total idiot, and we'll give some more details later.
Let's get
So-
into how we met you. We met you through the Facebook group ad, Ultra Running Advice, and I'm a little bit of a phony because I have yet to run an ultra. This is something Erika got me, and Erika is our ultra runner of the group here, the two of us.
And I feel like a total imposter too, because I am mostly a road runner and we fucking hate those. So yeah, I've done one virtual 50K, and then last year I did a 12-hour ultra, which was like I think 0.9 miles on a trail, and then the rest of the 2.45 miles was on a paved rail trail by the ocean in Rhode Island. So I did 46 and a half miles, and it took me 11 hours, but I had the 12 hours and I tapped out.
Neil,
So
we're 7 hours into this race. I'm her Sherpa, and I was recording her when they said this, but they go, "Here comes in Erika, and she's currently in first place." And she took a second, stopped, and turned around. She was like, "What?
kidding me? What? No pressure." Yeah.
First place?" And then she's like, "Oh crap! I got 8 more hours to go."
It was awful. I managed my an age group podium on that one, so I'm
Hell
going
yeah.
back this year to see what I can do. But yeah, I'm a total imposter. I am more of a road
Nah.
runner. But I just love this bad ultra running advice Facebook group because it is the funniest thing I've come across. Like everybody is just shitting on each other, shitting on trails, carrying boats. It is so entertaining. So how did you discover the group?
My friend Bailey, another Team Regiment member, she sent me some funny screenshots from the group, and so I joined it from there. And ever since then, I was like, "Oh my god, I belong here. This is great.
These are my people. This is wonderful."
Dude, like the group is just a breath of fresh air because you can find thousands of like running motivation groups and everything.
Mhm.
I mean, it's such a good comic relief from those groups. Don't get me wrong; those groups are awesome. I'm part of the trail and ultra running group, countless other groups as well. But I freaking love this group because it's just such a nice. It's different from the cookie cutter groups. And
I agree.
It's just like we've got our own little quirks, our own little things. I freaking love David Goggins, by the way. And I also love just what this group does with the carrying boats and everything. It's just so nice. The memes.
I enjoy
and everything.
it too.
It's kind of like if you like bad ultra running advice, a good parallel to that is the ultra running memes on Instagram. Those guys are awesome. That's actually where the Pizzagate thing first came around. There was when that first happened, the Georgia Death Race group posted the picture, and immediately everyone's like, "You should submit this to the ultra running memes. Do it. And I had no idea what was going on. And this page with like 20,000 people had posted it, and then I just get bombarded after that. I was like, okay, I guess this is how this becomes a thing now.
Nice. I'm so happy it did. That was like the best thing I've seen. So
that was a fun moment.
So we want to know more about Pizzagate. So tell us the story behind the picture. Like, what race were you doing? It looked like you were at an aid station. So how many miles did you already do? Like, how miserable were you? Like, give us the whole story.
That was actually after you finish, there was a cool pavilion where it was heated. This is like the Georgia mountains in the last weekend of March. So it's either going to be 80 degrees outside, you're going to be sweating balls, you're just swimming in ball soup all day, or it's going to be really freaking cold. This was a cold one. So they had a nice little indoor pavilion, heated, all these chairs, you finished. And throughout the race, like just the whole race, my thing when I'm in an ultra is like, don't show weakness. If you're just hurting like hell, just fucking smile. Just don't. Because if you start to show that you're really fucked up, it's just kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Mm-hmm. So you just kind of
thing.
Yeah, you just kind of like hide the pain through it all. But no, once you finish all that shit that was going into your head in the last, I think that one, it was like 20 hours long. You just like let it out in the finish. That like once that's done. So we get there, heated room. Nice comfy chairs, at least they're comfy. I don't know if you look at the picture, it does not look comfortable at all, especially with the back breaking pose. I was slumped over and get in there, and I am spent. I am freaking spent. My clothes are soaking wet because it started to rain like at the last minute at the finish line. Freaking spent, soaking wet. I have a drop bin in there, and they have pizza out there, of course. Mm-hmm. A whole bunch of other food, delicious food, and we're like hot food. They had like beef briskets. They had all this delicious stuff, just shoveling food. So combine finishing a 75-mile race, like 19 or not, about like 19-ish thousand feet of elevation gain through the whole thing. So you're just literally going up and down, literally up and down.
That is
all
my
that
nightmare.
Combined, yeah, plus a food coma. And I'm fading really quick. So I get out of the wet clothes. I still got a pizza. So I get the shirt off, and I'm trying to get all the other clothes off. So I don't have the energy to eat the rest of the pizza because it was like slice number 5. And I'm really starting to fade. So I just slap it on my stomach, get my pants and shoes off. I don't have wet clothes on anymore, thank goodness. But my drop bin's like way across the room. And I'm just kind of like looking at it like wishing I'd like when you're lazy as shit and you see something across the house and you think, how good would it be if I had the force right now and just like bring it over to me? One of those
Usually
situations.
That's me with a remote control.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right?
God damn it, it's all the way over there.
Exactly. And so I see it and I'm just like, and I just fade. And my friend Chris Stansel, I'm like looking over to him for a little bit. I was like, "What's he doing?" He's like holding his phone up, and I'm just like, oh, "Whatever." He's probably doing some Facebook Live stuff, or I don't have time for this. I'm just gonna take a quick nap, and we'll see what happens. And just like he catches the moment where I like slip the surly bonds of consciousness, and just like one eye is already closed, one eye is already going. I had short hair back then, but I had a mustache, and I'm just you guys have seen the picture, and then just like pizza on the gut, and I'm just out. I think I was out for like a good 30 minutes because it was just noisy in there. And so I wake up, and the other friends I ran with, they're taking naps in that room as well. But I wake up, and I remember being really, really happy because I had food all ready for me on my gut. It was cold now, but I had pizza. And so I just like woke up and then just pretended like nothing just happened, and it just kept eating and just be disgusting. This disgusting human being.
I love it.
Just being foul. Just in my underwear. And
I would have done it.
Glorious.
I would have done the exact same thing.
Oh.
We're going to have Erika recreate the photo.
Oh yeah. He said that for what? The Ultra in August. That's when my next one is, so.
If you don't look like that at the end of an Ultra, you really didn't try hard enough,
I mean, last time I did my Ultra, I had heat rash all over my legs, so maybe I could add to it. I had terrible chafing, so add a pizza. Yeah, pizza gut. I'm all set.
There you go.
She went and changed. We're talking like maybe 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. The race starts at 7 p.m. It goes from 7 to 7 through the middle of the night. So she's in this tent that looks like a porta potty and has no roof. It's really meant for like an outdoor shower on a camper. So she's changing into dry clothes. It's like 150% humidity. She takes off like her sports bra, her socks, and everything. Completely top. It lands on my foot. It doesn't just land on my foot. It just like that flop, like a big, heavy flop right on my foot. And it was just disgusting with the amount of...
No shame. No shame.
I mean, that sports bra probably weighed 12 pounds.
There was so much sweat. Like I was swimming in that. That was the ball soup right there.
Those porta potties are nice and warm, though. World's Toughest Mudder 2014, there was a dust storm that uprooted everyone's tents and everything. It got to like 20 degrees, just wind going sideways. If you watch the videos of it, just look for World's Toughest Mudder 2014 dust storm. The only thing that had refuge was the porta potties because it was just nice and warm. There was no wind. You didn't care about the smell. I took a nap in a porta potty at World Stuff. It was the best.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I was just leaning back. It could have been like if I had a pizza, it would have been the same photo again, just in a porta potty. And I mean, there was like warmth welling up from underneath, and it just kept you nice and warm. You didn't care about the smell. That's the great thing about ultras. You have your little hierarchy of needs, and you're in a good place, I guess, when the warmth of poop fumes is just the best thing ever. That's just warming you and just getting you nice and warm. Spartan Death Race, I remember like being in tears of happiness because I think I found like a half of a Cliff Bar on a rock. It was like the third day. This is the best event ever. It's like you reevaluate your happiness. Why do we do
I already have to apologize to our listeners because I am going to shamelessly giggle through this episode too, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way things have to be. So
if you want to if you want to hear a quick funny porta potty story, go and check out episode 8. Somewhere around the 50-minute mark, Sarah tells us about her first marathon experience, that she waited in line to use a porta potty, and once she got in there, the moment was ruined.
That was miserable for her. Yeah, it was like pouring rain, and she just had a bad time. So let's get into who made you submit this to Muscle and Fitness magazine. Like, we need to know about this contest.
That was on my own will. So Muscle and Fitness, I met those guys through the Spartan Death Race. They were out at the 2018 and 2019 Spartan Death Race. Spartan Death Race isn't an ultra so much. It's this. When you hear race, you think running from a start to a finish. No, this is a race where it's 3-ish% finish rate. They do everything to make you quit. They scream at you to quit. You do stuff like 3,000 burpees, or you do, you're carrying 80 pounds barefoot up a mountain. It's just like the worst crap you can ever do. Muscle and Fitness was out there. They were doing a story about it. Actually, on their website, you can probably still read about it. So met those guys out there. They were doing the media for the event and met them. So you like their page because they're the ones doing the media. Saw that they were doing this contest earlier in the year, I think. And I'm a couple Zimas deep, with some pizza in my stomach, and I see the contest, and I'm like, the mindset that I've had for a while is if I don't think I'm ready for something, fuck around and find out. You might be surprised. Your first podium's always a big surprise too. You don't think you're like, did I what? So it's just why not? Let's find out what happens. And so I see this contest. It's like it's got all these stock photo images of whatever fitfluencers, the Honda Accord of fitfluencers, I'll call them. Just you could look for stock
Beefcake.
Photos of glistening abs with a sepia filter. It's like the most gimmicky thing. It's like, do you want to win $20,000 and be in the magazine for Muscle and Fitness? I was like, what? Muscle and Fitness, those guys were pretty cool out at the Spartan Death Race. You know what? Gonna do it.
Yeah.
I sign up. And they ask submit a whole bunch of pictures. I was like, yeah, sure you want me to do that? Just pick all the weirdest pictures. And I completely forget about the contest until like a couple months later, I get an email that says, yep, you're in it. You're qualified. Great. Good job. Here's your page. It's going to go live. People can, vote on you if you want. I'm just like, holy shit. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to think too much about it. It's a stupid, vainglorious award,
Did you look at the other photos you were competing against?
Yes, and that's when I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to try it now. I'm going to try. Because it shows the first grouping, it was like out of 25 people. And every single picture was the same. It was the same, Honda Accord fitfluencers, man. And you see this just, just showing their muscles and stuff. And I had... you couldn't choose what your default picture was when you submitted the whole collage of pictures. And so it had just some Spartan race picture of me going over the finish line. I'm like, no. That picture looks too serious. And I'll go and I was like, you know what? I'm going to find like the most like realistic picture I can find, like the most candid thing that really embodied, because no one else was from the ultra running community. So I'm just like, ultra running is a huge part of fitness. It's not something you see in the gym. So I'm like, screw it. So I'm just going to take the most candid whatever picture. And then I just put the pizza gut one on there because it made a good screenshot, right? You see all of a collage of a bunch of people. I put the pizza gut thing on there. I'm like, oh, that seems like fun.
It will make you stop scrolling.
Yeah, I check back, right? It's that psychological break. People see it, they're just like, what the fuck is that? I check back the next day and I'm in second. And like I go from like 17th place to second. And it's like, your first podium, you're like, what? And I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And then I noticed that they had a thing where you can donate to charity and get votes. And I'm just like, okay, now this isn't like just I want to get more followers on Instagram that I post on maybe once a month, if that. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll have fun with it. It's a good cause. It goes to, homes for wounded veterans. And so I'm like, screw it. Let's roll with this. And so I post something about it. I think I posted it first in my, I posted it first in my WoW Guild's Discord. I still play games. So I posted in there. And they're like, oh my God, this is freaking great. And then they tell all their friends and they spread it around. They're like, dude, check it out now. You're in first place. I'm just like, what the? There's no way. And so they keep cutting the bottom half of the grouping. They keep cutting it. I'm still making it. And it teeters between first and third. And I'm just like, you know what? The ultra running community knows about the pizza get. Screw it. I'll post it. And I post it there. And then it's just locked into first place from there. and then it just easily destroys that group. All all the glistening ab photos. It beat them.
I was so happy to see that, and I was super excited to see how the BUA group just rallied behind you. Like I'm not part of too many. Yeah, I'm not part of too many of the other trail groups, but this one I was just like, yes, let's get it. So I definitely gave you some votes. I definitely donated because of your little bribe that you
The Blogert bribe. Yes.
Which you have to send to Eric. Yeah, send it to him.
Here, this is your bottle right here. I'm showing him it on the camera. This is your bottle. It's got 11 Carolina Reapers in it.
Oh my god.
It's gonna if you have not shat on the trail, now you will.
I'm instantly regretting it, but I mean I couldn't not help you. It was so worth it.
You can have a lot of fun.
When we get that, we'll do like an Instagram live of Erika taking her first blogert.
No.
Yeah.
What would that go good on?
Pizza.
Yeah.
All right.
Pizza.
That will be it.
The biggest mistake people make, though, like I said, it's got 11 Carolina Reapers in it. It's diced up. It's very garlicky. It's got a whole lot of flavor. The biggest mistake people make is that they put out too much. But it's okay. You're going to make the mistake, and that's what we learn. This is what we do. And
I'm very scared of it.
It's fun to get a video of it, and we're going to have lots of fun. So, Blogert was the name of one of the characters I have on WoW. I was just, let me just put some fun words together.
You named it Blogert? Oh my god.
I named it Blogert, and just like that became a meme in itself on the server that I play on. And and during COVID, I decided, you know what, I'm going to grow some peppers, and peppers came. You know what, I'm going to make hot sauce out of it. And it was just kind of like the little COVID hobby. Everyone picked up the little thing to do during the COVID lockdown. So I was like, hey, I'll make hot sauce. And then, 2 years later, I guess I hit like the perfect mark, because whenever people have it, they're just like addicted. They're like, give me more now. I can't keep up with demand. It's just taken off like crazy. And I guess I found the keys to Flavor Town.
I was going to ask, and it sounded like you sent this out to a lot of people. How many people you think donated at least $40, and you're mailing out how many bottles of Blogert?
9.
9 so far.
Yep. 9 people. So.
You mentioned Flavor Town, and when you posted that thing, that's one of the reasons why I was like, I gotta try this. Because you said it was like Guy Fieri giving you a hand job while you're listening to Motley Crue on 11, and something about eating monster shit.
77 Charger going straight into Flavor Town. That's right.
Oh my god, I just laughed. It had me on the floor. So I'm very afraid to try this, but
I'm
what we do for content these days, right? Shit.
You are gonna shit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go straight through. Woo! If you like Carolina style barbecue, because it's vinegar based, and I
do like the vinegar stuff.
Yeah, so it's vinegar based. So I mean, I love it on pizza, scrambled eggs, mac and cheese. I put that stuff on everything. It's just so fantastic. Oh,
so this is like the Franks of the bad ultra running community.
Frank's hot sauce. You can go through that in one sitting. If you can go through a whole bottle of Blogert in one sitting, you are
blowing a hole in your intestines. You're
gonna have some problems out of that.
It's nice knowing you. It's nice knowing you.
It's gonna be an EPA violation. What you're gonna create. It's gonna be terrible.
Yes. Oh shit.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the results. We did see, unfortunately, you didn't make it past the quarterfinals. But how many people would you say you beat?
The thing said I got the top 1% out of all the entrants, and you can I got to find it again, but you can see the other groups, and I gandered over at them, and they're nothing for runners. So, man,
you are a legend, my friend, and definitely something to aspire to. I'm so happy you made it that far. Like, that is such a cool thing.
Do they?
Yeah, it was a very big difference in that, and it's the broad category of fitness. I mean, muscle and fitness, they were out at the death race, and you don't see anyone at a 3-day long endurance event that's completely jacked and everything. Because I mean, those muscles are going to be useless. You're just carrying around weight that you're not using, and it's just you're going to cramp up. It's going to be bad. So it's. And even I go back to the video game reference. Even in a video game, if you play, like the warrior class, you're jacked. You got this, heavy super armor, or if you got like the caster class, you get little light robes and everything. You get like really high level in one thing. It's just like in fitness. You don't have a 1,000-pound deadlifter running ultras. They probably won't even run a mile. And then I think my max deadlift was like 315, and I think I had to stop it because I was like clenching my butt so tight because I was really about close to crapping my pants. I was just like, I don't know how people can do anything heavier than that. So it's just what you go really far in one particular aspect of fitness, you abandon a lot of the other aspects as well. So it was kind of fun being that weird other side of fitness that people don't really think of.
Putting us on the map. I love it.
Do you think they'll do this again?
Yeah, 2023 they'll do it.
Would you resubmit the same photo?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
We're doing it again.
We're going to do it until we win. We won't be denied.
We'll do it. We'll come in with another stretch because I was just totally shooting from the hip, and I did just like I said, like the first podium, you're just completely unexpected of it, and I was just like, whoa, I was not. This is crazy. We'll come in with a plan next year. We'll have some fun with it.
We'll make T-shirts like "Vote for Pedro," but it will say "Vote for Neil" with the picture on it.
Oh, geez.
All profits go to charity. And speaking of that, I think you said something on at least the Ultra Running Bad advice page, like almost $2,000 just that group alone raised.
No, not just that group, just like overall.
Okay.
Yeah. So overall, we raised about 1,000, close to about $2,000 for that charity, which is pretty badass. So but what was most impressive is like we had a lot of it's an estimate because I had the page running, but I was also logging. I would refresh it and it would just show like the latest 3 people who did the daily vote thing. And I was logging it all, and it was somewhere between close to about 3,000 votes were just like the free daily votes. So it was just like the outreach is what really, really pushed it forward. So I was really surprised about that. Not expecting it to take off the way it did at all.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone could vote once a day for free, but people could donate money and get multiple votes. Like you could donate. Erika, you did $40 for what?
80 votes.
80
it
votes.
doubled.
It was a 2-for-1. That's right. It was a 2-for-1. So,
and that's why I didn't feel bad doing it, because not only did we get some Blogurt, but it went to a good cause. So
right, and that's why I had that's why I liked sharing it out there, because if it gets to the point where it actually got to, it was just me and that one guy, this Giga Chad that had like the perfect Giga Chad jawline and haircut. It was just it was almost comedic.
And at least with you, we know that people like us voted and people from the page voted. But this guy, his mother just could have done all the votes and paid like $1,000 to get him enough just to beat you. Every time she saw
who knows?
Every time she saw him going to second, oh, here's another $500. Boom, first place. Then you take over again through all of us. Boom, another $500. Who knows? Money goes to good cause. But we don't know. What we do know is that people really did vote for you like us. Right.
And that's why I'm totally cool with it. Like, I was like, it might come to that situation that it actually did come to, where you're just leapfrogging some one guy. It's just because his social media outreach was like nothing. So there's no way he's getting that with daily votes. So I'm just like, oh, you know what? If it does turn into this one-on-one leapfrogging thing, the real winner of this is going to be a charity. So hell yeah, let's just press forward. Let's just do this. So that's why. Otherwise, if there was like no charity option, I'd just be like, this is some vainglorious stuff. This is stupid.
I gotta give a big shout out to that one guy from Bad Ultra Running who donated $39.
Wait, what?
The true DNF. Yes.
True DNF. I laughed so hard.
And it's very fitting that now my entry was a DNF,
You're so right.
rightfully owned. You know?
Yes. Until next year, my friend.
Hell yeah! And if we DNF again next year, it's what we do. It's
Mhm.
what we do.
We'll make you your own like brick. We'll put 2-time DNF finisher on it.
Yes.
All right, give me 2 seconds because
Yeah.
I just want to unplug my headphones and replug them because they're tangled.
We'll do the clap for doing the audio.
the clap. And I'm going to just readjust. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I killed myself on my bike today just to get here in time.
Today was my swim day. This is like my recovery day.
Do you do triathlons?
I've got I'm going to end up doing it. I know I'm going to end up doing it. I like to swim. I swim in a lake in Florida, which
Alligators.
Danger.
there's probably gators. You swim during the day, they mostly leave you alone. I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, and I've been okay. But it might become a Florida man story. Who knows?
My wife used
And
to.
it got in my friend Anders, his big triathlon guy. He souped my bike up, did all this cool stuff. He didn't have to. So it's like, you know what? I kind of owe it to him to just kind of train with him. And I had fun riding the bike. I was like, oh no, it's happening. Oh no, I'm gonna do triathlons now. Oh, it's gonna happen.
Do you have one in mind? Like you
I want
haven't
my first triathlon to be a full triathlon.
the whole
Going
140.
big.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go straight into the big one. I'm used to. I know what.
Well, you
swimming
skipped the
along-
marathon,
I did
you know?
the 2.4 mile swim, and it felt fine. It felt great. And I checked the cutoff times for Kona and everything, and I got it done way in the cutoff time. I'm just like, this isn't bad. I think the bike thing I got to get good at because my friend, he's got tree trunks for legs, and I'm just sitting back there and I'm just dying. So I gotta get good on the bike, and it's gonna happen. It'll happen. You talk to me in a year from now. I know it's gonna eventually happen.
I feel like the swim's probably the hardest part. So once you got that down, the bike should be easier. I would
love
hope.
the water. Have fun in that water.
It's the danger that fuels you, right?
It is. It is.
Am I
Any
gonna
moment,
get eaten by a gator? I don't know.
any moment, an appendage could get grabbed and death rolled by a gator.
Ooh.
The water has the consistency and murkiness of sweet tea.
Ooh.
Can't really see a foot in front of you. I've had weird things brush up against me. There's been a couple of times where I usually backstroke it. There's been a couple of times where I backstroke it and my hand smacked something solid. And I turn behind me, no one's behind me. So I'm like,
Oh, no.
I go from 0 to bitch. And I audibly squeal at a pitch that I didn't know I could squeal at. And what it really was, just a couple seconds later, I see a turtle just poke its head out of the water. It's like, "Hey, what was that?" And I'm just like, wow, I really showed my true colors in front of you, Mr. Turtle.
My first half Ironman was in the ocean, and I'm like, this is really smart. About 2,000 of us all in wetsuits look like seals, and it is shark country out here.
Hell yeah. At least it's in salt water, and at least you got a wetsuit. Those things, it feels like cheating when you're swimming in a wetsuit, I've discovered.
It does.
A lot of times when I talk to people in triathlons, they're like, oh, this one's great, you could use the wetsuit. They're really excited about the wetsuit part. So now I get it.
Makes
Now
you
I
so
get why they love
buoyant.
them.
You can just go out there and hang out.
Really crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah, you can pee in it too, and it keeps you warm.
yeah, oh my
Done
God,
multiple
the best feeling
times.
ever. Yes. World Stuff is Smarter, we had wetsuits, and that's just the best feeling. Just peeing in it.
I'm going to give you one other wetsuit
Lathers you.
tip here. If you fart in it, it's like a little air bubble, and it
Oh, I have.
picks your ass right up and
Yeah.
makes your ass float. It's nice for about a minute. You're a little easier, save some energy.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
we're keeping
farting
this in
into
this
it's great.
interview, right? Like this is staying in the podcast.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes.
like
I know
gold.
we took
Okay,
a
great.
second, but yes, it is in it.
Oh yeah, fart bubble in a wetsuit is great. Especially, I mean,
Love
the
it.
wetsuit's already like moist, so it turns like any aired out fart into like a really blubbery, like it just kind of like fills it up, and it's just such a haggard fart. But it's just such a real. It's like, oh god, such a
Farts
great
are my
feeling.
weaknesses. They are the funniest thing. Like I could be 95 years old and still be laughing at farts.
Yeah.
Like I remember being in college. We're just sitting in our common room and like a door made a fart noise and I start like crying from laughing so hard. Like forever farts. Love them.
There you go. You picked the right sport then.
Oh, totally.
Definitely. Ultra running. Oh my god.
Can't
Because
trust
you're
those
running
farts,
and then
though.
like, and oh, wait till we get. I see the layout of what we're talking about. Wait till we get into that. But the best thing running, the impact on the ground kind of like dictates how the fart's gonna go. It's like the metronome for your ass as you're running. It's just like, and then when you're running in Florida, you got swamp ass, so it's more like. It's just really
Neil,
Love
you're
it.
my favorite guest. Oh my god. I'm dying over here.
I'm honored.
All right. Newt, take it away. Next question.
Oh man,
Yeah.
my head hurts from laughing. He mentioned code. Well, you mentioned the list we have, and I think what's next is Code Brown. So the way I'm laughing right
even.
now, it's only going to get worse.
I'm crying. So yep, I'm done.
All right, so
Put a
Neil,
fork in me. I'm done.
Neil, the reason we call this podcast On the Runs is because in our little running group, it goes a little more beyond Erika and myself. I always have to take a dump if we're ever running early in the morning or doing a long run. It always happened. And then just all of a sudden we thought, let's call it On the Runs because I always have the Code Brown. And then after this,
Yeah.
Erika never had one. And then all of a sudden we started a podcast about this and she had her first Code Brown. So
I was real close to shitting my pants, but it didn't actually happen outside yet.
but when you get the
It's gonna
blogger, it
There's
will
still
happen.
time.
So
There's gonna be
Yeah,
a
that'd be
time
weird.
when your faith in your farts fails you, and it will happen.
And I will share on this podcast.
Oh,
You guys can look forward to it.
So
Mhm.
I hope you got some good stories lined up. Not everything needs to include a Code Brown, but we're not limited to DNFs, carrying boats, shitting in the woods, staying hard. Give us some of your good ones that you've left. So this will be the first time we're really hearing it.
I've got great news for you because every subject you just pointed out in that question is all covered in a single event.
Yes.
So I earned
Bring it.
my bad ultra running status in a single event. So we're about 3 years into my adventures into running. So the year's 2013. Take you back to 2013.
Hmm.
Party
this
rocking is the hard song of the time, and rage comics are all the rage at the time. And what does the fox say? First hit the charts. We're in the mountains of
remember that.
Killington, Vermont.
Ooh,
2013.
local.
Wait, where
Very
were you?
close. Killington.
Yes.
For the second Spartan Ultra. I was too big of a weenie to do the 2012 one, but after I heard that only one Floridian finished it, and the finisher rate for that event's like 20%, I was like, holy shit. Oh, this is the first out-of-state event I'm doing. This is the first ultra, like true ultra. I did the 50-miler thing, and I just, okay, it's a slog fest. You just keep going. It's on flat, in flat fuck Florida. Great. I want the mountains. Let's see what happens. And I have like the wrong clothes on. I have like the wrong shoes. The people that I was with, I had like these Adidas Climacools. That was the name of the shoe. Just flat on the bottom. And I would have just completely
Oof.
tobogganed down that mountain. But thankfully, one of the ski shops had like some Salomons that I got. So completely new shoes. Breaking in some new shoes. We're taking off the plastic wrap as
Why
we're getting
not?
to the finish line. What's the worst that could happen? So do this race, and I'm having a great time. We're at about mile 12-ish, and it's freaking cold. And this was the year, going back, 2013. This is the year of that polar vortex shit. I don't know if
Oof.
you guys remember that weather phenomenon. That was
Not
a
that
big
super cold, like,
Yeah.
oof.
So it was in the upper 30s that day, raining on the
Mhm.
mountains in Killington, really cold. And we get to I'm running downhill on the mountains towards like Bear Mountain to where one of the aid stations was, and I look up to see because I'm stupid and I'm not looking at where I'm going. And I look up just to see if anyone in the crowd knows me because I'm like, dude, this is the first crazy big event. Oh my God, I'm having a great time. I look up and just like my foot gives out from underneath. I hear like an audible, just like a really gnarly crunch. And then like my ankle just goes completely sideways in a way that it's not naturally.
Oh
And I just
shit.
fall to the ground. And it's like when you drop your phone with like the glass side on the ground. It's like Schrodinger's fucked up phone. It could really be bad. You're not gonna know, and you're just like looking at it. You're like, oh God, how bad is it? And you look at it. That's like when you roll your ankle really bad, sprain it really bad, and you try to take that first step. That was
Mm-hmm.
a lot of what I did. First step, and I just immediately just plunge back down to the ground. I'm like, oh God, it's bad. It's really bad.
Oh no.
But it's so cold out. And like so I'm just like limping. They had like the Spartan spear throw, and then shortly after that, they had like waist deep water that you're swimming through. Remember, it's 30 degrees out, really cold. And I get into that, and the cold water thankfully helped out my foot. And I get out of the water, and it's like, oh, it doesn't hurt as bad. There's an aid station right here with our drop bins, and some people were quitting, but I'm like, no, 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 I think I'm gonna keep going. And I don't know if it was like the stress of what just happened with my body or whatever, but I really had to fart. And so we get past the aid station and I'm jogging and everything, and I push out a fart, and everyone around me heard it. And everyone around me knew immediately it was not a fart. It was just the beginning of it. It was like the beginning of it was just like a bunch of air, and then it was like when you pop the cork of a champagne bottle, you get the solid piece, and then just a flume of frothy liquid. It was like that, but you heard it very distinctly. So it was just, and then like everyone turns around. They're like, oh, and the guy in front of me is just like, dude, that sounded very wet. That's gonna, that's gonna really itch when it dries out, kind of.
Oh no.
And he looks at me and he's like, did you just? And I'm like, yeah, I just shit my pants. And he's like, what are you gonna do? And I'm just like, I think I'm gonna keep going. And so I keep going, and I'm just like, oh no. I just shit my pants. And they had a low crawl after that, because this is obstacle course racing. If you haven't figured that out yet, there's obstacles in it, and there's this low crawl. But it's like I just shit my pants. That's in my mind the whole time. By this point, I just shit my pants. Oh my God, I just shit my pants. And I see one of my friends over at the low crawl. He was just finishing up the low crawl. I think it was my friend Mike Jacob. Calling him out by name, Mike Jacob. I remember you, buddy. You were out on that low crawl back in 2013. He turns around, he sees me, and is like, Neil, hey man, how you doing? And without any consideration to the volume of my voice, I said very loudly to a big grouping of people on the low crawl, not good, Mike, I just shit my pants. Just really loud. And here I go with these long, I wore cargo pants to this ultra. Cargo pants. And so I have like poop sauce slathering in my cargo pants, and I get into a low crawl, and I'm rolling in the low crawl. So now it's just like, it's just a rock polisher with shit, and it's just slathering everywhere around. And now it's just everywhere. And that just continues, and I'm like, okay, this is my life now, and I'm not gonna
own it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dude, this is in Vermont. Like, I'm not gonna quit, go home, and wait a year to come and do this again. I'm like mile 14, 15. Screw it. Let's just see what happens. Let's go. I know that there was like a swim later on where I can just kind of like shimmy my legs a little bit and just kind of get like the bulk of it out. And so, oh God, like a mile later, it's going downhill again. But when you really badly sprain your ankle, everything's loosened up, so it's easy to do again. Sure enough, I wreck it again, and I'm at the top of the mountain. This is when like you see some raindrops, but at the same time you also see like a little bit some snow dropping. So I'm like, dude, it's getting kind of cold. I can't feel my hands, and it's really going numb, and I need my hands for grip strength. So what I did, I would cram my hands down my pants because your crotch is a warm part of your body. And so
True.
I'm going up the mountain with my hands in my pants, and there's still a little, it was after I got back in the water. There's still a little bit of traces of the brownout incident in there. And I'm just like, okay, this is nice and warm, but oh my God, I got to pee. I don't want to feel cold air anymore. I'm just going to go. And so I'm going uphill on the mountain, and I'm just peeing on my hands, and I'm just, oh my God, it's warm. It's reviving my hands. And so I'm going up the mountain, peeing in my hands, and I'm just like, oh yes. Guy in front of me turns around, and he sees me, just hands over my junk, and there's piss just dribbling down my cargo pants. He turns around, he's like, oh, that's smart. So you kind of get an idea of just the mindset of everyone at this race. We're just so depleted by this point. He sees it. That's the first thing he thinks of is like, oh, that's smart. And I mean, this race was just a crash course into everything we talk about now in the Bad Ultra Running group. I saw a lady like straddling a tree, taking a dump, like 3 feet off the course, and no one said anything. She's just like looking around at us, like halfway caring, just with like, full hanging mud snake making its way out, and we're just walking by like, yeah, you gotta go. Good job. Good job on the poop. And that's just what we did. And so we're going, we finally get towards the very last cutoff of that race, and I'm just so zonked out. And that was my first DNF ever. I missed the final point by I think it was like 200 seconds. I missed it.
No way.
And I couldn't even reach into my pocket to get my timing chip out because my hands were so like locked up and like slathered in piss. So they were just like fumbling through my stuff, and they're like, did you really wear cargo pants to this shit? What the hell? And I remember my response was, I'm from Florida. Like
Do you need any other
that's
explanation?
the
Really?
general way to explain. Yeah, I'm a little bit stupid. And like that event, I still go out, and I go out to Killington every year now for the Ultra. I go to that very spot that I got my chip cut, and it's just like thinking back, that was the best thing that ever happened, because like I never like Control Alt deleted my whole body and just like got so close to that point just for it to just still be a DNF. So I was out for blood from that point on. So I was just like, dude, if I can keep going, screw it, I'm gonna try it again. And so that was the big event for 2013. That was my biggest foray into like the ultras world, and that's the first poo story. Erica is.
I wish
might
we
make a boom boom herself. She's just going.
I'm broken.
Nuts right now.
He broke me.
I
We need a
apologize. We
breather
are not a
before we
video
go
podcast yet because Erica is just something
I'm
else
over here
right now.
crying. Have to lean out of the camera so you can't see me all the way. I'm blowing my nose in my shirt. I just can't.
We need to take a breather before we go into the story of Battlefrog 2014.
Oh, there's
That's the next
more.
one.
I'll tell
I'm
you what.
so happy.
I'll tell you what. The next time we have you on, because I know we will again, I will make sure this is recorded. I will make sure we record the video just for Erica.
No shame, you guys. This is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh my god. Bring it on.
I got a
All
random. I got a random question. One, your sound effects are epic.
That's why I'm laughing. I'm dying because it's whatever. You're the king of that.
But
I'll leave it to you.
the question, and it's not even related to that race maybe, but you mentioned earlier mustaches. We went to Erika's Ultra, and all the dudes had mustaches. I am, like I said, the phony of the group. What's up with all the dudes with mustaches?
I don't know. It just looked cool.
It did look cool. It absolutely did.
Yeah.
Do you need a better reason than that? I don't think so.
Just looks cool.
I didn't know if it was a thing like, when you do an Ultra, you're going to, go out there like Top Gun, Maverick, and Goose with the mustache there,
I don't know. I guess it's just a fashion thing in the ultra world. Just have a really bitchin' mustache,
All right.
That's not the flavor saver, is it? Is that the soul patch?
No, so
Save some
the
food for
mustache
later?
works. The mustache does help out a lot, especially if you're in a very hot ultra and you're really sweaty. The sweat, like you get salt crystals accumulated there, and if you like pour water on your face, it salts the water, so you get the salt back in your body. I used to have a really long beard, and I would gather it there, and I would like squeeze the beard juice and just kind of recycle the nutrition. That was a lot of fun. That was in 2014 when I had the long beard. I decided not to shave till I came back out to Killington again for revenge. And I DNF'd that again. I DNF'd that by like 20 minutes. I didn't finally finish Killington till 2015. And I didn't finally hit the podium of that event until last year.
Mm.
Will you be
like I
there
said,
again
in the
this year?
profile for muscle and fitness, it's literally true. I will keep coming back to an event for then to finish it, and then I'm gonna hit the podium. I'm gonna get to that point. So that's just kind of the thing I do.
So wait, will you be there again this year?
Yeah.
When is it?
Absolutely. Killington. That's like the second weekend of September, second or third, I believe. Yeah, that's I got two more big events this year. It's this Killington Ultra and then the No Business 100 miler.
I'm thinking
Kentucky.
on the runs, we'll go to location to Killington, Vermont, coming up in September.
It's not that far from us, really.
Again, we've done Erika's favorite race is a Tough Mudder. We did the no, it wasn't Killington, it was
Eden.
Mount Snow. Same area. It's a two
It was
hour
10
drive.
miles each time, and I was like, I would rather run this like 10 times over than do this like freaking up and down, up and down, up and down. Plus, like I'm just like a weak little girl, and I have no upper body strength. Couldn't do half of the obstacles. I was like, why am I here? This is so dumb. Yeah, you guys can have it.
If Tough Mudder was at all like a Spartan where you got to do the burpees and everything, if you can't complete
I
the
would
goal,
not have done that at all.
Erika would have had
No.
all the DNFs.
Yeah, I would have had a DNS.
Owned by the same
Do not
company
st-
now
do
too,
not
so they
start.
both keep their own identity.
Do you still
Cool.
do the Tough Mudders?
They're expensive, man. They're expensive. I've cut down the amount of like official events that I go to, so I'll train like hell. I train every single day of the week, about 30-ish miles a week, and then I incorporate some biking and swimming as well, and some lifting in the gym just for like core strength and stuff. But I'll do that in preparation for like 3 or 4 major events in the year nowadays. And that's no longer just like a bunch of local events every single weekend, because that just gets expensive. And as you guys saw this wall of medals, it's like, okay, you get one, you get 1,000, okay.
So I've done the Tough Mudders and the Spartans, and just I haven't done them in years. But what I remember about them was a Tough Mudder was like, "Hey, you can do this. Anyone can do it. If you don't know how to swim, don't swim. If you have an heart issue, don't go through the electrical field. Just go around it." Where a Spartan race was like, if you're not going to go in that water, get down and give me 30 to 50 burpees right now. And if you can't do this, more burpees. And it was timed where Tough Mudder wasn't timed. So you're at the starting line and the Tough Mudder guy's like, you can do it. Anyone can do it. So it was like everyone's little 5K ultra mud race. But the Spartan race was like, you really had to take it seriously and train and get strong, because or else it was going to kick your ass.
You have to stay hard.
Yes, stay hard. Thank you.
You have to stay hard.
I'm learning the terminology for these ultra this group. I'm still the phony. I'm new to it, but I'm figuring it out pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the events that I go to, I still have the imposter syndrome. I remember Death Race, the Spartan Death Race. They started off like you can't say a single word, chop wood for a couple hours, and then meet up at this church. And then this started at night, and so I swear to God, I'll get to the next poop story in a little bit. But need Erika to get some air in her lungs again because she's about to die laughing.
I'm good.
But on
Keep
the
going.
imposter syndrome thing, I remember getting into this little rickety church in Chittenden, Vermont, and I see who all is in this race. This race that only like 3% are going to finish, and these are people that I see in like magazines or featured by Spartan. Like these are like the biggest, like top 1% of the top 1%, and there I am. You know, it's like Pizza got in the field of fitfluencers. You know, I'm just who's this guy? And as I discovered as the event went on, those people that I held up on a pedestal, they were quitting. And every single time one of them would quit, I'm just like, I'm still in it. I mean, I'm pretty effed up right now, but I'm still in it. And so most of the time it's just nowadays, if it seems pretty hard, screw it. I'm going to figure out if I can do it. But I'm not going to like half-ass it. I talked about the no business happening later this year. Two of my friends, really amazing runners, they DNF'd it last year. And so, of course, I got to do it now. 'Cause if it knocked them out of that race, I really got to do this now. So that's kind of the mentality I'm chasing right now. Just seeing what we can get with it. So
I love it. Just
ready?
the next thing. But yes, I have air in my lungs. I should be able to function during this next story. So take it away.
So we had our code brown at Killington. You know, it was the first big DNF. You know, coming home with my tail between my legs. You know, coming home through the side door. There was a whole bunch of emotions that comes with the first big DNF at your first like big event. And so one of the big things was, okay, I really gotta train my ass off. Battle Frog was a big, super fun OCR at the time. It was Navy SEAL inspired, so you know, stay hard, carry some boats to the event. Really kick-ass event though. Awesome obstacles, awesome staff. I mean, it was like one of my favorites. I'm really heartbroken that they're no longer around. Battle Frog had an event called Battle Frog Extreme, 8 or 9 different tiers of the event. They had like a 5-mile course, and I think they had like an 8 or 9 mile course. BFX was, you're going to run as many of the, I think you ran the 8-mile course first, and then you ran as many of the 5-mile courses. The distances in my head are approximate because this is back in 2014, but that's the general thing. Run the long lap and then run as many short laps as you can. You can bring like a little drop in at the finish and start corral area and just go however many you can do. And I think it was 12 hours. Go have fun. And they had this up down in Miami. So really hot. So we're driving down there. This is for BFX. And the first BFX event I was doing, I drive down. I always make a stop at a convenience store, just load up on beef jerky, like the Tijuana Mama pickled sausages. Love them. With the aged block of preserved cheese and everything. Just gas station food. Love it. Filled
This
up
is like
on
the
that.
classiest like running food I've ever heard of.
Yes. I'm kind of doing a bit of a flex here. You know, admitting that that's part of my cuisine. That's usually what goes in the drop bins. That and MRE cheese spread. That's the big thing. Spartan Death Race, I had 16 packets of that to give you an idea of just how much I love cheese during events.
Love
Anyway,
it.
so I get my filling of gas station food, and I gobble it up. Tastes amazing. My friend and I are doing this event together. He's driving, and so I'm just talking and eating at the same time in the car, not paying attention. And we stop at one spot, and I look at the wrapper of this beef jerky that I just so like voraciously ate. And the year's 2014. And I look at the wrapper, and the printed expiration date on it, it's like November of 2012. I'm like, this is the moment where I realized that I fucked up. And I knew I was in for a treat. A treat, more of a treat than I just ate now. Because this is going to come out in a glorious fashion.
Oh no.
So I'm staying at a friend's house in Miami, and I am already feeling it that night, like the stirriness of the stomach. But it's kind of like the honeymoon phase of eating something bad. You're ripping some awesome, awesome farts. I mean, it's just an anal orchestra that night. I only have to get up once.
There goes Erika.
Night. Yeah, I
I'm
only have
working
to
on it.
get up once in the middle of the night to just, crap out what would be my last solid one for a very long time, for a very long day coming up next. Of course, I gorge myself on a big breakfast the next morning, but I can tell, like, my stomach's giving me the signals. You guys know what I mean? The signals.
Oh,
It's
yes.
just like, dude, you fucked up. You're gonna,
Mistakes were made.
buckle up, buckaroos. We're gonna have some fun today. So I get the starting line. Already at the starting line, I got a shit. It's so bad. But I can't see a porta potty, and I'm just like, you know what? If I start running, maybe it'll just kind of like sort itself out. Let's see what happens. And so I start, and I haven't podiumed many races, and I'm already at the front of the pack. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm just running because I'm in a panic looking for a porta john. I don't know. I finally see a porta john. This is like mile 5-ish into the 8-mile course. I'm just like, oh, thank God. I get up to the porta john. I'm running up to it because, like, like when you really got to go, you could be doing the most important thing in your life. You could be at the altar of your wedding. If you got to take a dump, that's the only thing that matters is just getting that out of your system. And then when you finally see the end in sight, you finally see the finish line, your body is just like starting to break. It's like, okay, we know this is happening. All right, start removing the safety measures because this is happening. I see the porta john. I grab the handle and I pull it, and it doesn't move. It's locked. And the aid station Karen is just like, you can't use that. That's for volunteers only. And I just like, look, my hands are shaking. I got to shit so bad. And I'm just looking over at her. I'm just like, please. And she's like, now it's for it's an aid station Karen. It's like her little circle of power. She owns that area. That's her jurisdiction. And so I'm just like, oh my God. And this is in Miami, so there's just water everywhere. The course has a lot of water crossings, and there's like a lake behind this porta john. And I tell the lady, look, kind of a half truth. I have to pee, but I really have to pee out of my butt. And so I'm going to go to the lake. Is this okay? She's just like, yeah, you just can't use the porta john. They're for volunteers only, for the third time. Because it's like her script, whatever. So I run to the lake, and immediately, as soon as my trembling feet touch the water, like, it's just like the diarrhea farts are beginning, and I'm not even waist deep yet. So I'm like, oh no. And I'm running this event, by the way, in my underwear. I'm wearing like the same Under Armour underwear that you guys see in the Pizza Gut
Yes.
picture. That underwear is over 5 years old when you see it in that picture, by the way. So it is riddled with holes and everything.
You still have it?
The underwear. Yes. I will bring it up to Killington for you guys.
Is it in the rotation?
Yes, of course.
Oh, right.
And so I get into the water, and immediately I just drop trowel. I don't care if people see ass cheeks as I'm descending into the water. And then I'm just like in a panic, and it's just like Dumb and Dumber. And then it's just this cloud of like mustardy flume. And you can hear the force of it in the water. It's just you can hear the explosion under the water. And then I'm just like sitting there almost crying. Just so relieved as like the water bubbles up in this carbonated thing, but it's, poo fumes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I finally got it out. My stomach's hurting like crazy. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I feel better a little bit. It still hurts, but I feel better. I get up, and then I get back on the course, and I run. I'm just okay. Thank God. I think that was the expired beef jerky. I think it's over. And as Billy Mays, the great late Mays, would say, but wait, there's more. Because we get to about a mile before the finish line, and there's a water crossing. that leads to the lake that I already defiled and created an EPA violation in. And it's like an automatic response. Like as soon as my feet touch the water, my mind is just like, oh, we're at your toilet again. Let's go poop. And so I get to it and I'm like, oh my God. And then the lifeguard looks at me. I'm obviously distressed. And he's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I have to pee, which is kind of the,
Half true.
out of my butt. And I just kind of swim off. I swim off and downstream is away from me. So no people are going to ever get close to this horrible thing I'm committing in the water. And sure enough, I do it again. Just yellow flume. The gases just sprinkle up to the top, and I'm just like dry heaving as it's happening because it just smells awful. I can smell the beef jerky, and it's just terrible. And then every single time I reach the porta pot where the aid station Karen is, it's for volunteers. I know, shut up. We talked about this on the first one. And so
this is your fault, Karen. Come on.
I know. So the porta potty crossing near aid station Karen, and then the water crossing again before the finish line. Every single time we're doing the 5 mile, like clockwork. I just feel like it's got to go. So I must have crapped into that water, if you want to call it a crap, because it was just violence. I unleashed violence into that water at least 12 times. At least 12 times.
God.
And it just would not end. And so it finally it was finally letting up the final lap where I just finally there was nothing left in me to poop out. I was just so drained. I'm just running through with food poisoning. And then there's just the final lap. There's nothing more to poop out. And then I get to the finish. I place second overall with food poisoning. I'm just like, what? How? I don't belong at this place. Don't
Even with all those
congratulate
pit
me.
stops.
Yeah, I had to stop so many times. And just like, that was the worst I've ever felt during a race. Well, okay. The rest of those stories will be for another time. And placed so incredibly well. It was just such a mix of feelings, just strutting into the finish line with absolute disgust. And then there's just, yeah, you're second. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Thank you. I'm so sorry. just
You're going to need to drain that.
You got to just drain the whole lake. I mean, it went out into the ocean.
Oh, no.
So cool, I guess. It's Miami, so you got to do something to reduce property values there because real estate's pretty crazy down there, I guess.
Good job.
But that was, thank you. That was Battle Frog 2014 with just horrific food poisoning. It wasn't. It was just a roll of the dice. You don't know what chemical consistency it was, solid, liquid, or gas. Every time I got into that water, I was like, what's it going to be? And it was just violence. It just came out as violence the whole time. So very early on into my foray of running, did I embrace just yeeting ass mustard out of the old moss cave and just letting it rip, having a fun time. And there's been some other events where I just have just crap on the trail like normal. Nothing I still podium at or nothing that's like violent. But, if those ultra runners listening right now, if you got to go, and if you're past like mile 10, no one cares anyways, just grab a tree, just go. Just let it go out. Just be loud and proud. Don't try to, you can't have a courtesy flush anyways out in the woods. See if you can make it echo in the mountains.
Yeah.
Just learn your power. Learn your power.
You're the best.
Oh my God. I have a cramp.
You should drink Eric's Pedialyte.
I know.
He's been chugging that throughout the entire episode. He's like, he's killed half the bottle now.
No, look at it.
Going nuts.
It's empty.
Yeah, see? Yeah, see, he doesn't have cramps.
I'm just wiping my nose.
Hey, actually, as
My
this
shirt's
podcast,
covered in
Get your-
snot.
Drink your Pedialyte, Erica.
as this
This will be
interview has gone on,
lesson.
I've slightly felt a little better and a little better. It's just the room's so fucking hot in here right now. I'm like, ah. And I'm lying down like this. At one point, I'm looking at myself. It looked like I had no pants on, but I'm like, nope, this feels good on my back right here. This is where I'm going to be. Oh,
Absolutely, you are a fucking legend. I can't.
So those are
even.
my two Code Brown stories. I look forward to.
oh my
Hey,
God.
maybe in No Business we'll have some other stories of Code Browns happening. We'll see.
You can come back whenever the hell you want. You are like resident awesome dude, and
Well, when you're here in
get like the
September,
golden ticket.
when you're here in September, we'll come find you. If
We'll bring the mics. We'll do an on location thing.
Yeah. When you
I'll be at the Killington Grand.
go
right
to
by the
Killington,
venue.
do you fly into Logan in Boston?
No, I go into
Manchester?
Manchester.
Dude,
Manchester.
Yeah.
I love that drive.
dude, I watch the airplanes take off and land from there every day from my house.
Nice.
I'm right there. So when you fly into Manch Vegas, I would say plan on an extra day after the race. Just one
Okay.
extra night. One extra night. And do you come by yourself? Do you bring your family? What's the deal?
I don't know what the situation's going to be this year. It's probably just by myself. And we Team Regiment, we're a group out of like Southeast U.S. We go to these events together, and we've already got a room reserved at the K Grand. So we all kind of, sometimes we'll all fly into the same area. Some people got family up there, so they kind of do their own thing. But we all meet at this one spot and do whatever we can.
I'm
going
watching the
up to there.
plane land right now, coming on to the D'Angelo
There we go.
side of the runway. There it goes over Lake
There we go. In
Massabesic.
September, that'll be me.
Yeah, that
That'll
will
be
be
me.
you coming out, looking right through my window. All right, so when that comes, we'll talk before, but we'll get some info. Maybe Erika and I head to Vermont and we hang out with you and your boys or your crew, your team. And if for some reason it can't work out where we can't go to Killington, like I said, give us one extra night before your flight. I'll even drive you to the airport or do whatever you need. We're not big where we can cover your hotel costs and all that, but man, it would be a blast.
We need some sponsors first.
Yeah.
It would be a blast to hang out. We'll get some pizza and put some Blowgurt on it.
Oh yeah,
good
dude,
Lord.
it tastes amazing on that. But there might be one ultra where I'll bring Blowgurt in my drop bin. I have a weird selection of food that I use for ultras. It doesn't work for a lot of people. Ultras, like the big thing for ultras is go with what works for you. Don't try anything new on the day of. I learned that the very hard way. Look at the expiration dates on things, that kind of stuff.
I never would have thought to do that, but now,
Now you know.
I'm going to be paying close attention.
Yeah, but I've got a weird nutrition plan.
Well, the same rules apply for a triathlon when you do your first Ironman. Nothing new on
Okay.
race day. But I have a feeling you're going to you will not even come close to a DNF in a triathlon because it is nothing compared to some of these races you have told me about. There is a
Yeah,
point.
we'll see.
There is a point when you're like, why'd I do, like, this is my one and only. And then when you cross the line, you can't wait to do the next one. But
Exactly.
there's some good ones in Florida, man. And down in the Southeast as well. Cozumel
Yeah.
is great as well. Cozumel down there in the Caribbean. But and if you want to come up our way, we got Lake Placid and we got Mount Tremblant, and those are some hilly ones. I know you don't got hills in
Sweet.
Florida, but man, you could make a climb, you get to just coast downhill, and it's a nice little recovery.
Good shit.
Yeah, this was great shit. This was awesome. Erika, what an amazing find. This has been only in the works for what, maybe 5 days? The past 60 hours?
Something like that. We've been following
gotta-
along with the contest, and yeah.
Yeah, you still gotta give me an address to send this out to.
Well,
Send this
Going to
blogger.
you, Eric.
I'll send you
Yeah.
that right after this. Yeah, I had my parents, my sister, they all voted. I sent this to some hockey referees. I referee college hockey. I'm like, check this guy out, give him a vote. Erika was doing the same. We did it to our group with the original two, Katie and Shauna, the original two girls who were on the pod.
I had to share it on Instagram too. I don't have a hell of a lot of followers, but I hope something came of it. Like
We'll
it
come
was
in
too
with
epic.
a plan next year, and we'll
Oh,
see
yeah.
if we can get out of the quarterfinals.
Yes.
See where we can go from there.
So how
If
many
we
rounds?
take off even more, like hopefully we can reach all our listeners. We'll get you on well in advance.
How many
Get the
rounds
vote.
would it be? You know, the quarterfinals and
So
what
if
they
I
go.
would have won quarterfinals, yeah, it just goes to semis and then finals.
Okay.
So then you then face the winner of every quarterfinal group. In the semifinals, same thing. For the finals, you just face the winner, first place of each and every group from there. So there's a lot of people in this contest that you gotta get over, and it's going to be tough. Actually, I mean, we are so close to achieving greatness. To quote that Star Wars movie, we're so close to achieving greatness this year. But 2023, I think we can do it. I think we can
Back
beat
with a
the
vengeance.
others. I think we can come in with a better plan. I think we got this. I think we got this. And entering the contest game finally was the final kick to the dick for me to get motivated to start my own trail series. So I'm gonna first quarter of next year. I'm gonna RD my first 50K. It'll be good.
Awesome.
If you DNF it, you get a potato that I write on a Sharpie DNF.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
DNFers get an award
I gotta
at
ask.
this event.
Do you ever think you'll do the Barclays Marathon?
Oh my god. Yeah. It's just god damn. It's the first. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. It's like the triathlon question. You think you're going to do a triathlon? It's like you see where your training's going. You do a swim and you actually enjoy it. You do a run in the mountains and you shit your pants and injure your ankle so bad you got to get an ultrasound. And you figure, yeah, it's a 100 miler, nothing but that. Yeah, I might try it. You know what? I might try it. As long as the pit crew's got like pizza or something, we can bring.
I have
you can
complete faith
go
in
to
you,
the
man.
Barkley.
If you
Yeah,
go,
I want to at least do the fun run, get 3 laps in.
yeah, if you sign up, well, I know there's no signups. If you figure it out,
I have no idea how to do it.
Nobody does.
if you
No one.
figure, I might know of a person, but we'll get to that later. If you get in, I don't see why we can't go, Erika.
Oh my god. I would feel like a total and complete imposter at that point.
No,
What
no,
am I
not
doing
no.
here?
We'd
I'm
be
cheating.
we'd be pit crew.
No, I know pit crew, but like I shouldn't even be in the vicinity of like these people.
They just posted a picture too on Bad Ultra Running Advice yesterday or the day before of that guy. Oh my God, what's his name?
Laz?
Yes, and it's like
Yeah.
the face you see in your nightmares the night before a race.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's
Lovely.
that and the yellow gate guard
Yes, the yellow gate.
thing. And the ultra running world, that's just so well known that it's like if you show just a blank picture of a room with the casting couch in it, you know what that couch is. You get the reference. You don't have to tell anyone. That's kind of the casting.
I don't know
couch
if
in the
Erika
ultra
knows
running
about the
world.
casting
if you
couch.
See the yellow,
I don't live under a
gate,
rock.
If you see the yellow gate, that's the casting couch of the ultra running world. You know, we all know what it is. You see it, you're like, oh, it's just a shock of imagery that goes into your mind. That's what it is.
This was amazing. I can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah, save up some stories for us. We want more. We want more sound effects.
Oh yeah, just
You can see if you can make me absolute like cry during during the next episode.
All right,
Shit.
Erika's got a final question for you here.
Oh yeah. So we have ourselves a Spotify playlist where we just kind of put all the rage music and stuff that gets us running and gets us to keep going. Do you have a song to add to our list?
I don't run with music ever because I feel like if I'm running and it goes to a song I don't really like too much, or if my earbuds fall out, I just get the feeling like it'll make me just rage, like go from like 0 to Gary Busey off his meds. It's just another thing that's just going to make the thing suck. And a lot of these trail races, they don't allow music anyways.
Well, what about
I
your
just
favorite
cut
song to
music
like
out.
take a dump to or something?
Oh man.
Some like Careless Whisper or something.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I guess if there's a good song running wise, yeah, if I ever would have music, I think if I was going to pick one, it would be the Epic Sax Guy 10-hour loop. Check it out on YouTube. It's so catchy and amazing. And if there was a song,
Add a 10-hour song to our playlist.
yeah, do that. And if you have a
Right, give us
song
one
that
under
you wanna
5
have as
minutes.
a playlist for your life, do the Epic Sax Guy 10-hour mix. And if you want, when you edit the audio of this podcast and post, I mean, you can just fade out to that song. It'll be amazing. You're gonna love it. Absolutely. You guys are in for a treat.
I'm so excited.
All right. Hey, thanks
You know
so
what, I'm gonna
much.
find that video up right now, and I'll send it to you guys so we can just hit the ground
Thank
running with this. Hell yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, and this will definitely not be your only appearance on the podcast.
It can't be. Can't be.
I'm honored.
Neil, you're the best. You're the fucking best. Oh my God.